Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brockopp side. Today we got ourselves a movie review of Teen Titans Go to the Movies. So this movie is based off the Teen Titans Go animated show, the Teen Titans show that apparently nobody likes. And we see in the beginning of the movie that this is a world where all the major superheroes have their own movies, and it's kind of a status symbol. It's like, if you're a real hero, you get a movie. And of course, Robin and the other Teen Titans, they've never had any movies, and they're considered jokes, and Robin wants to change that, so he goes out on this grand adventure to get his own movie, and of course the other Titans come along too, and, some villain stuff happens too. So this movie comes out in about a week, but I was able to go get passes to an advanced screening of this movie yesterday. I stood out in the hot sun for 2 hours in line, surrounded by screaming children. But before we get into the actual review, I feel like I need to set this disclaimer here and now. I do not have any real biases towards either of the Teen Titans animated shows. I do remember watching the original show when it was on and enjoying it, and I've seen a few episodes of the Teen Titans Go animated show, and I never really cared for it. But I was kind of optimistic about this movie coming into it because the trailers actually looked kind of promising, It looked like it was just going to be a really nice love song to DC Comics, kind of like how Batman was a love song to Batman in the history of the character, and the fact that this movie has Nicolas Cage as Superman, more on that later. So I came into this movie pretty optimistic, but like I said, I have no biases towards the Teen Titans original show, and I don't hate the current Teen Titans Go show with a vengeance, so I have nothing like that clouding my judgment when coming into this movie. So if you want to see a review of some guy ranting about how this is not like the original show, then this is the wrong video for you. But basically, I came into this movie and I unfortunately did not enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. The humor is very much like the Teen Titans Go animated series, which if you don't like that humor, you're definitely not gonna like it here for an hour and a half. It's a lot of obnoxious graphics and very childish humor about farts and pooping in toilets and stuff like that. So it really just got kind of old. I'm like, this is really only good for kids and people significantly younger than myself. And also the Titans themselves, I just couldn't help but feel like they seemed a little selfish and unlikable in different parts. There's this one scene where they're gonna go back in time to stop all these different superheroes from becoming these superheroes so that they're the only heroes in town. So they go back to planet Krypton, they save the planet, and then of course they save Bruce Wayne's parents from getting killed. I'm like, okay, that's nice. But then they try to stop Aquaman from becoming Aquaman by going back to when he was a baby, throwing one of those plastic six-pack can things and throw it in the ocean and basically strangle Aquaman. They basically killed baby Aquaman. That's pretty messed up, actually, and that's not where it stops either. So of course when they go back to the present, all the heroes are not around and the world's gone to chaos, so they go back, they then intentionally destroy Krypton, and then they actually force Bruce Wayne's parents into Crime Alley where they clearly get shot. You don't see them get shot, but you see the flashing of and the sound of a bullet going off, and all I could think of was, Jesus Christ. That is some serious dark humor for a movie like this. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of dark humor. I think it's really good when it's done well, but I really don't think that this really belongs in a kid's movie like this. It's just really hard to kind of root for these characters throughout the movie because they keep doing these, childish and selfish things. I mean, they basically nearly kill Superman by launching kryptonite at him for this one little scene. I'm like, are you guys actually the heroes of this story? Like, what the frick? And this movie's also really trying to cash in on the whole meta thing going on right now. They're trying to be like Deadpool, referencing other characters in their movies and other superhero universes, but it just feels like it's trying way too hard when they do that. And they make a few different Marvel jokes throughout there, like they mistake Deathstroke for Deadpool, which is a very big running joke, and whenever there was a jab at Marvel, I just sat back and cringed in my seat because, I'm a huge DC fan and all, but, it just kind of reminded me of those DiGiorno commercials where they're going after delivery. It's like, You're a frozen pizza, shut your face! There are a lot of little references and tributes to DC Universe, different characters. You know, you get all these shops in the background, they're like, you know, Dark Side themed and Swamp Thing themed. Those are cool and all, but it just doesn't come off as well as, say, the Lego Batman movie did when paying tribute to all of these characters. I feel like it was just trying to be too much like, Deadpool and too much like the Lego Batman movie. It just felt a little forced and it just didn't seem as satisfying as in Lego Batman or Deadpool. But there is one Marvel joke in the movie that I actually really, really liked. Yeah, Stan Lee apparently has a cameo in this movie. Yeah, it's kind of funny because, you know, the Titans, they go to Hollywood, they're on the Warner Brothers backlot, and then Stan Lee's in the background, he's like, you know, trying to, you know, get in the frame as much as possible, and then he's like, oh, shoot, this is a DC movie, I gotta go. So I'm not entirely sure if that was actually Stan Lee, I really hope it is, but that was a good one. That was a good one. One thing that I found kind of interesting about this world, though, is that this is a DC universe where all the big heroes have their movies, but the heroes actually play themselves in this movie. They don't have actors doing it, but they have actors in every other part. That just seems kind of weird to me, because it's like, why would Batman take time out of his busy schedule to be in his own movie? I mean, of course, yeah, it's a cartoon. They're gonna take liberties and stuff, and it, you know, it's kind of fun to see these kind of goofier versions of the characters, but it's just kind of weird, though. And also, the whole driving force in the movie is that Robin wants his own movie, but was he just never in a Batman movie? I mean, he is still Batman's sidekick, so why doesn't he just show up in a Batman movie? I mean, come on now. So if you do end up going to see this movie, I'm just gonna warn you right now, get ready for a lot of extreme close-ups of cartoon asses shaking. And I mean, there's a lot of them. Yeah, there's all kinds of cartoon asses just shaking, you know, going out in 3D, and there's also lots of fart and poop humor. This entire scene in the Warner Brothers studio where all the Titans apparently go poop in a prop toilet, and they're like, haha, hey, don't poop in the prop toilet. Oh, no, I just pooped in the prop toilet. Do you guys mind? I'm trying to poop in the toilet here. It also has the absolute laziest villain twist ever. You see it coming from the very beginning of the movie. You got this female superhero director named Jade Wilson, and the main villain of the movie is, of course, Slade Wilson. And anybody that's ever watched Arrow or played Batman Arkham Origins or even knows just the slightest information about the DC Universe would see that twist coming from a mile away. That it's just Deathstroke in disguise, so it didn't even try. It didn't even try to pull like a Dracula a la carte thing and try to switch up the letters in the name or anything. So it's just like, I don't care if you reference it. I mean, they do reference it, but it's like, it doesn't make it okay. Ultimately, the movie feels a lot like the show. It has the same kind of graphics, it's got the same humor, and you know what? If you don't enjoy the Teen Titans Go show, you're not gonna like the movie. It's just as simple as that. But I do have to say, there is one scene in this movie towards the end of the film that I think is going to make fans of the original Teen Titans show very happy. I'm not going to get into detail about what it is, but if you like the original Teen Titans show, then I think you would enjoy that scene if you saw it. But out of all the criticisms in this movie, there is one major takeaway from this movie. It's the whole reason I wanted to see this movie to begin with, and it's the only reason anybody above the age of 10 should see it, and that, sir, and madam, and whoever else, is Nicolas Cage as Superman. Hell yeah! For those of you that don't know, Nicolas Cage was cast as Superman in the now infamous Superman Lives. It got so far that Nicolas Cage did multiple costume tests, and there are images online of that, but unfortunately that film got cancelled, and now it's just super infamous to the point there was actually a whole documentary made about it. So it was really nice to finally see Nicolas Cage become Superman in some fashion. So all in all, Teen Titans Go to the Movies is basically just a feature-length version of the Teen Titans Go show. this movie is just not for me or people older than me. It's really directed for kids and kids only, unlike the Lego Batman movie where I think kids and adults can really enjoy it for their own reasons. So if you have kids, you could probably take them to this movie and they'll really enjoy it. But honestly, if you're over the age of 10, just go watch the Lego Batman movie, it's far better. So, those are my thoughts on Teen Titans Go to the Movies. If you guys have seen the movie or the show, or you just feel like typing words in a comment box, let us know down below, and we'll see you on the Brockopp side.